Now, you may be asking yourself, what's the difference between a DNG file and a RAW file? Inside of Lightroom, particularly in the Develop module, you are likely to not see or notice any difference whatsoever. Behind the scenes, however, is a bit of a different story. A standard RAW file that comes directly out of your camera is going to be proprietary to that particular brand of camera. Some camera manufacturers create their own software where you can process your RAW files inside of that software. A DNG file, on the other hand, is a non-proprietary file type, and some believe that it has the potential for a longer shelf life. For example, if a camera manufacturer were to go out of business and those RAW files were no longer produced, it's possible in the future that third-party software may stop allowing those file types to be used in their software. Now, that's just one thing that may be an advantage. However, the biggest advantage to a DNG file is how it stores the data and the changes that you make inside of Lightroom or other RAW processing software. To show you how this works, let me go ahead and show you both of these files in the Finder in my Mac. On the left, I have a Fujifilm RAW file, or an RAF file. Next to it is an XMP file. The XMP file stores all of the processing data that is done to this image, such as exposure, contrast, cropping, etc. The DNG file, however, stores all of that processing data inside of the file itself. Now, that's really useful because I'm not worried about losing that data if the XMP file were to be deleted. If that XMP file were to be deleted, I wouldn't lose the actual image file itself. I would just lose everything that I've done to it. So the DNG files can be a good way to simplify that file structure behind the scenes.